And welcome back to News 46. Pet Cremations is the only local crematorium for pets in our area. They ensure that your beloved animal is well taken care of and stays here at home in our valley.
The business has been open for about 20 years now. I want to say generally it was out of a love for animals. It was an interest for animals and their better benefit that the company started itself.
When you're going through a death of your loved one, a lot of people are very attached to their animals. They have them for many years. They're a family member, so they would like them treated with honor. You give a nice little package and a card, and tell me about that.
What we do is we cremate them, and we do have plenty of options to which the ashes can be returned in. And there's plenty of different varieties. You can even have a small porcelain in the shape of your pet.
The one thing that that you guys also ensure is that this is your animal.
Basically, that we make sure that they are handled with the utmost care. And when we do return them, we make sure that it's satisfactory from the time we do take that pet, when its time is to go, from when it is our hands to being returned, that it is nothing but handled with respect. We do realize that it is a family member and is very much cared for, and we would see that as one of our own.
And so when you go to your vet's office, you need to make sure when you're filling out that paperwork that you're specifically asking for this crematorium. If you want your dog to be here locally and not in a Vegas hospital, you need to make sure that you're reading that it's definitely says pet cremations on it. You have your own tags at every office?
Correct. Now, we do. We definitely do have specific tags that you will notice on them that do say PCS, that do generally come from our office, that vary from any other services of cremation.
So if they don't have your tags, what do you do?
Basically, we handle our procedure. If they need any specific tags or paperwork, we take care of that full forward and bring them to them.
Just make sure that you're not filling out a tag for a different crematorium.
Yes.
And say, I'm going to have PCS contact you.
Correct.
And so you guys will follow through. We just should give you a call. What's your phone number?
Our phone number is 775-727-0290, as well as there is another line that you can reach us at 702-683-9941.
Let's join Alicia Cook with your entertainment this week.
The MTV Video Music Awards were held Sunday night. If you watched the show, you probably are wondering what the heck happened to accepting your award and just saying thank you. Where did that famous Play Them Off stage music go? The program, hosted by Miley Cyrus in barely any clothing, was more reality show than awards show. The show opened with Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift singing Taylor's hit song, Bad Blood. The pair had a well-publicized spat on social media about Minaj not receiving a certain nomination for the VMAs, and Swift thought the rapper was aiming criticism at her. It was all love as the pair performed together. While accepting the Best Hip Hop Video Award for her song Anaconda, Nicki Minaj proceeded to take a jab at Cyrus over a New York Times story in which Cyrus appeared to side with Swift in her past beef with the rapper. Minaj said during her acceptance speech, and now back to this B, that had a lot to say about me the other day in the press. Minaj gestured at Cyrus. Cyrus seemed to take it in stride, responding, "Hey, we're all in this industry. We all do interviews, and we all know how they, the media, manipulate stuff." Then she congratulated Nicki. Taylor Swift gave a nod to the now infamous VMAs incident from 2009 when Kanye West rushed the stage after Swift beat out Beyonce, proclaiming that Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. On Sunday night, Swift was there to present West with the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award. Taylor called Kanye her friend and joked about the incident. Then West took to the stage and thanked Swift, and things quickly went left. Kanye spoke uninterrupted for what seemed a lifetime, pausing over and over to find his words over the aftermath of interrupting Swift those many years ago. He said bro a lot, but mostly West rambled while Swift and the rest of us stood there looking perplexed. He ended his speech by announcing, and yes, as you probably could have guessed by this moment, I have decided in 2020 to run for president. He wrote and directed the first Nightmare on Elm Street film, helmed the first 4 Scream movies, and guided Meryl Streep to an Oscar nomination for Music of the Heart. Wes Craven, the famed maestro of horror, died Sunday after a battle with brain cancer. He was 76 years old. Celine Dion made her return to the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace after a year hiatus. The Canadian singer-songwriter left her sold-out residency on the Las Vegas Strip last year to focus on her husband over her 30-year career, earning 5 Grammy Awards, 2 Academy Awards, and 7 American Music Awards. Here's one back-to-school photo Harry Potter fans wouldn't mind seeing posted on Facebook. The internet was thrilled when author J.K. Rowling tweeted on Tuesday that it was a special day in the Potter family. Yes, Harry Potter's older son, James Sirius Potter, is apparently enjoying his first day at Hogwarts. Fans of the novel Deathly Hallows are familiar with James and his younger brother Albus from the epilogue of the book. The tweet was, of course, met with glee from Potter devotees. Muppets star Kermit the Frog has wasted no time moving on from his breakup with longtime girlfriend Miss Piggy and is now dating an ABC marketer named Denise. Kermit and Miss Piggy were together for close to 40 years. Kermit is producing Miss Piggy's Up Late with Miss Piggy, the show within a show of the Muppets. Apparently, Miss Piggy has engaged in diva behavior on set. A source confirms Denise will also appear on the Muppet docuseries, which premieres September 22nd at 8 p.m. on ABC. That is your entertainment this week, and I am Alicia Cook.
The Muppets will never be the same without Kermit and Miss Piggy together. RebFed is a new business here in town. The owner, Reggie Zeitlin, has a long history with dogs. We caught up with Regina recently. She's the subject of KPVM's segment called Let's Meet. So let's meet Regina Zeitlin.
I'm from Virginia. That's where my dad retired to when he got out of the Army. And I'm a Civil War buff. I've always, even when I was an Army brat traveling around Europe and this country, I loved American history. And when we settled in Virginia, it was just made for me because we lived right near some battlefields. And then I recently sold a house in Virginia that backed up to a battlefield. And so I decided, you know, I loved Robert E. Lee. I wish he had stayed with the Union. So I said, well, I like both sides, Rebels, Federals, RebFed.
So you're a former canine officer. Tell me about that.
Yes, I spent 27 years working for U.S. Customs. I started out as a clerk in Washington, D.C., because I lived in the suburbs of Virginia. And I worked my way up to what's called a CPO, Customs Patrol Officer, and a motorcycle. I never was on a bike. I was on a horse. And then when I was on the Canadian border, I patrolled by snowmobile, snowshoes, and cross-country skis. And I really enjoyed that. And then they did away with the program. I became an inspector. Then I became a canine officer, went back to inspection for the promotions.
And so what was it like to be a canine officer? Did you have one dog that you always worked with or multiple dogs? Or?
Well, you train 2 dogs in Front Royal, Virginia. That's where our canine school is located. So it was really great because while I was there for those 3 months, I was less than 100 miles away from my mom and dad. Mm-hmm. And you train 2 dogs at a time and you graduate with 1. And then you go out in the field with that dog, and generally the dog is about 2, and then you've got 7 good years out of a dog, but not always. Sometimes we have dogs that get out into the field and just lose it. We've had dogs that, they got out in the field and it's like, oh my God, I can't do this. So we will adopt them out if the handler doesn't want them. My twin sister and her husband are both retired canine supervisors with U.S. Customs.
Yeah, because you're a twin.
Yeah, identical twin. And one time I was TDY, temporary dutied, up to Seattle where Robin and Jim were stationed. And Robin and I both had yellow labs, and we confused the heck out of everybody, even though we wore name tags, but my last name is Zeitlin, which is our maiden name, and hers, of course, is Edmondson, her married name. Uh-huh. That didn't stop them. They were just constantly calling us by the wrong names, the supervisors, it was hilarious, and they told us that we would never be allowed to go temporary duty together again because of that.
And we will be right back with your weather from the desk.
News 46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body.
And welcome back to News 46. Today's high was 96 degrees and it was sunny. The average temperature around this time of year is 99 degrees. The winds came from the south at 12 miles per hour and with gusts up to 29 miles per hour. The UV index was 6, which is high. Humidity was at 15% and sunrise was at 6:17 this morning. The record high was 110 degrees in 1950. Tonight, it will be partly cloudy with a low of 66 degrees. The average temperature this time of year is 76 degrees. Winds will come from south-southeast at 9 miles per hour with gusts up to 15 miles per hour. Humidity will be 27% and sunset will happen at 7:12 p.m. According to the records, it was 56 degrees was the low in 1964. Tomorrow it will be sunny with a high of 94 degrees, a low of 63 degrees, and winds will come from the south at 14 miles per hour with gusts up to 23 miles per hour. Humidity will be 15% and sunrise will happen at 6:18 tomorrow morning. The UV index will be 9, which is very high. For your 7-day forecast, we will have sunny skies all the way across the board. We will be experiencing high winds this Friday. Your high temperatures will be starting off at 94 degrees and going down to 89 degrees this Saturday, then heading back up to 97 degrees by mid-next week. Your low temperatures will be starting off at 63 degrees, dropping to 58 degrees on Saturday, and will be going up to 67 degrees by mid-next week. The amateur radio license exams will be given on Saturday, September 12th at 1 p.m. at the Nye County Emergency Management located at 1510 Seary Lane. From 8 a.m. until noon the same day at the same location, there will be a study program for those who want to earn their first amateur radio license. For more information, call 775-751-5242. Well, that does it for this.